Alrighty, good morning, folks. Hope you're all doing well. I'm working on a commission right now for Warp Hammer on for Affinity, and I just thought I'd stream it as I go. Start with a sip of coffee. Lotharans, good day. How's it going? Good to see you already. Let's see. Give me a second as I move things around. Alrighty. So yeah, just working on a commission for Warp Hammer. I forget his Dragoness's character, his name. Oh dear. Having some technical difficulty with my iPad stand. One moment. Gotta screw that in. Let's see. Fortunately, the screws come loose, so I have to retighten the bolts. There we go. Should work. Alrighty. Oh, a dragon nest. Nicely elegant. Thank you, I appreciate it. Let's see, Lotharin's doing good here. Got a day off because Labor's Day. Oh, nice. Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. I have a lot to figure out with the sketch still. I'm trying to figure out the background. Second. Okay. Oops, I can't do that here. Okay. Okay, here we are. So I'm thinking of like a let's see, so this is supposed to be taking place in a temple. I'm thinking maybe an outdoors temple. So she is a fertility dragoness, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of want, well, let's use perspective grid first before we do it. Okay. Let's use the drawing assist. Let's see, can we? Unfortunately, I don't think this matches the perspective very well. Okay. Yeah, I still gotta figure out what I'm doing with this background. Let's see if I can hide all the layers and show you kind of what I'm thinking for the temple. Thinking something like this, like a circular, outdoorsy type of temple. Oops. All right. something like that. But then you can have, because it's supposed to be about fertility, you can have like a wheat field behind it, something like that. Okay, so let's not worry about that for now. Let's focus on the characters. Ah, nice, an open temple, like the Greek had. Yeah, exactly, something like that. Okay, so let's merge these layers together. What is this? Oh, that's okay. That was the extra anatomy deal. A few mountains and tall trees in the far background, and you're good. Ah, thank you. Yeah, probably something like that. In the meantime, I'm gonna start working on the actual sketching. Exactly. Yeah, can't see much because of her wings. Are we still on? Okay, yeah. So for my sketching, I use this brush over here called Scratchy Baby. It's a really nice scratchy, as it says, a pencil. I should probably pull up the references really quick. Go to my notes. Okay, where was I? Let's see, commissions. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Was looking for the references and then realized I had comments on for affinity, so I had to quickly take a look at that. And then usually I just go over the sketch again and again and again until everything's properly figured out, and then I do the inks. Which maybe isn't the best way to do it. Maybe I should just do like a rough sketch and then just ink over it, and then you have that nice like flow to it, but let's see. Oops. It's got the button deal. Just got these. This I guess what would you call it? Like an undergown. Yeah, I don't know the proper term for it. I'm blanking on words right now. Does anyone like linen, like a linen undergown? It's kind of what she has under the dress. And this is going to be a full color illustration once we're done. Okay. It's got like a little button here at the center. Shoulder. Let's see. I know an artist who puts sketch layer after sketch layer onto it until it gets called line art. Yeah, that's kind of very similar to what I do. Unfortunately, a lot of the charm of my sketches get lost. So this might be my last sketch layer. Okay, right. So this glove, this starts out as like a long sleeve and then ends up with like a, what am I saying? See, I have trouble saying what I'm actually thinking when I'm drawing. Something I'm learning. Okay, so she's got a tear in this sleeve too. It starts off as a tight long sleeve and then becomes like a full-on like drapey, I guess, long sleeve, for lack of a better term. My goodness, I cannot talk today. First, clavicle is supposed to be visible. Okay, so that's going to be here. Sketching a little bit of a shadow there. And then right here will be the beginning of the linen undergown. Let's see, Lutherans. When I'm drawing, I slip into the zone, and you can barely talk to me. It takes me ages to answer. Also, music becomes a mere background noise. No, I 100% get that. That's me as well. I usually listen to music, but it's kind of hard to do that when streaming. Lutherans. Happened the first time. Years ago at a con. Someone brought pieces of soapstone and tools, and I sat down to carve a dragon out of a piece the size of your finger. 5 hours later, I was done. Wondering where everyone went, turned out the ice cream car had arrived, so they all ran away. That's funny. Okay. So... So it looks like there's a seam here where the hip would be. And her tail's going to be out here, so I'm going to have maybe the dress kind of show that's being pulled in that direction a little bit from the tail. Let's see. What time is it over there, Lothrens? It's got to be fairly late, I would think, for you. And she's got a very long, flowing dress. Okay, so her tail's probably starting here. Oh, wait a second. If her tail... Okay, I think we don't need that because the tail is actually starting somewhere else. I don't think it's coming from under her dress. There's probably like a slit or a hole in the back there for the tail. 7 p.m. or as we say, almost 1900. Ah, military hours. Gotcha. 1900. Yeah. Let's see. Ryan, hey, how's it going? I'm doing all right. Just working on a commission here. Doing the final sketching. Let's see. I need to fix this a little bit. Probably bring this down. Let's see, Lothran, something I'd be more concerned would be how the dress goes around her wings, a thing many artists just ignore. Yeah, yeah, I usually would ignore, but I think Warphammer mentioned that essentially, let's say this is her back, if her wings are here, her dress kind of just opens up in the back to allow the wings to come out. Something like that. And then Ryan, I thought this. Good, good, good. Okay. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you're supposed to be expecting. Let's see down to here. This button should be here actually, so. As you can see, my sketching process is very chaotic, even when done digitally. And so she's ending. Her tail is going to be here. There's her tail. What would that pointy part of the tail be called? I'm not sure, actually. Then looks like it's a smooth tail. There's no osteoderms or spikes on it. Look at the design again. Lothrens. I would create flaps that close around underneath the wings to create the slits for them. Depending on status, something you can do on your own, or need help with. Yeah, that's probably true. Right. If I had money, I'd commission law. All good, all good. No, I totally get that. Sometimes, yeah, there's a lot of artists that I'm like, oh man, if I had money, I would commission them, but it doesn't happen. I don't know. In this case, maybe a spade? Yeah, like a spade shape, I guess, for lack of a better term. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Something I need to learn are hands. I stared and stared at references for, well, looked at some references for holding swords, but as you can tell, I need more study. Yeah, and if you all see stuff that you're like, oh, that anatomy is off, or that perspective is off, you are more than welcome to let me know. I do not take offense to that. Ryan, I'm going to do another Q&A soon. Oh, very cool. Very nice. Is your YouTube channel growing? Let's see. Technically, her claws shouldn't be showing, I think. I think they're covered by the dress, at least in the reference design. Let's see. Her legs would be there, so... something like that. This Ryan, it's been at 41 for a bit, but yeah, I'll make another video in a bit. Nice, very cool. Oops, I think I messed something up here. Warphammer, hey! Welcome, welcome. Look what I'm working on today. Yeah, anything that you see that you want changed or fixed or you're not certain about, by all means let me know. This is a perfect time to do it. I'll show you what I'm working on for the background as well. What I'm thinking is like an open air temple, kind of like have a ring around, like a stone ring that they're in, with like pillars around it, and then the background would be, because she's a fertility dragon, we'll have a like field of wheat or something like that. A wheat field, there you go. And then of course you can have like mountains in the background. Let's see if I can hide the background. But anyway, so yeah, so this is what I got so far with a sketch. And then I probably need to move her wings farther up a bit so that they're by the shoulders. Because right now they're a bit more towards the mid-back. Warhammer, I see, very nice. Oh, the temple sounds very good. Good symbolism. Awesome, thank you. I was hoping that would work. The pose and everything, how's that looking? Her expression. Oops. I'm gonna have the teeth there. And then, of course, this I forget the squirrel's name already. I still need to do him, and I need to figure out his costume. I think he wanted kind of armor, but that's cobbled together, I think was what you had mentioned. Yeah, so I gotta figure out his armor before I do his sketch. In the meantime, whoops, wrong there. I just need to figure out what I'm doing with this dress. I think it's fine. Not too serious. Alright, that's good. Yeah, anywho, yeah, anything you see that you'd like changed, now would be the time. Again, I need to, where's that sketch? I'm gonna fix the wings a little bit. Move that up. There we go. Let's see, so that should be, oops, around there, I would think. Okay, yeah. Oops, I'm on the wrong layer again. I should probably look at your reference. Okay. So, how's this gonna work? Yeah, remember, the dragon wings are like hands. So, clamps there. Let's see. Let's see, Warhammer. Let's see. Tails right, main's great, doing well so far with the squirrel. Perfect. Thank you. Oops. I wanted that to wrap around a little bit, I think. Oops. Something's wrong with my brush. Okay. And then there's that like, membrane goes, it connects. It almost looks like the top of the neck or the shoulder muscles connect to this membrane. Oops, wrong deal. You have a little tear in that membrane there. Okay. See, how many fingers does she? So it looks like it's 3 fingers on the wing. Is that correct? What I'm doing here. So maybe that should go here. It's got like an elbow. That membrane should come right around here. Let's see. Question. It was more of an observation / question. I'm not sure. I might need to change that just for the silhouette because that membrane is going to cut right into where her head should be. So I'm gonna stretch that out a tiny bit. Say that's the membrane. So it'll be something like that. Or actually, sorry, my sketching process is chaotic. It's gonna be like that. There's it. Okay. And then you got the folds of her dress. She's got a very long gown. I'm gonna have one of her foot paws poking out there. Maybe I'll fix this wing a bit. There we go. Okay, the squirrel. How are we gonna do him? I wonder if it would be better to have, instead of this wing outstretched, what if we have it facing inward? Nope, it still covers. Okay. Higher up. My problem is I don't want the wings to cover him so that he stands out separately in the silhouette, which unfortunately, I don't think that's happening right now. So that's what I'm trying to figure out with this whole posing and wings and everything. Oh, I didn't mean to press this one. And I'm erasing the tail. Good gracious, Andrew, pay attention. All right, let's work on this squirrel again. I've forgotten the names. What are the names of your characters here again? Okay. Armor. Okay, let's see. Just pelvis. Talon Strike. Okay, Talon Strike is the dragon, and I'm trying. How do I pronounce that? Awins. Awin. 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 Okay. Let's see. This is tail. Remember, how did I have? That does not look right. 1 second. Where is my reference? Unfortunately, I moved it down. So his knee is here. Where's his other leg? There. That would be his foot paw right there, I think. That looks weird. I'll figure it out in a minute. He's got his arm. There's his fist. So then it looks like he's got his arm touching his chest in reverence. Okay. I need to pull up the reference I had. Canvas. Reference. Okay, this reference would be okay, so his knee would actually be down here, which means his foot needs to be lower. But then that means her he needs to be so that the sword is on his shoulder. I might need to size him up a little bit. There we go. I assure you, this will all look much better once I start inking, less chaotic. Okay. There we go. I think that's going to work nicely. Oops. I'm going to fix her hand a little bit to match this hand. Okay. Let's see. The thumb is here. Then let's lower that opacity. Okay. There's the palm. One finger. Another finger. Thumb. Which means I gotta enlarge. Pardon me. Yikes, this is a bit chaotic. But I think we're at a good spot. I might start inking here. Warp Hammer. I know I keep asking, but I just want to make sure before I start inking we're doing a more cleaned up sketch. Here, let me shrink this image. I can actually hide this. Is this looking all right? Or do you feel like there's any changes, anything you want me to resketch or do a cleaner version so then you can kind of tell what it is you're looking at if there's any confusion? Checking the emails. Okay, Warhammer, you're doing great. Awesome, thank you. And again, I want this to be what you want it to be, so you are more than welcome to stop me and be like, hey, I'd actually like this, or I'd like that, or at this point, if you're like, hey, this sketch is not working at all, can we do something different? That's totally fine. I think it's fine. The dress looks good too. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Let's merge these down. And then here was another. I mean, that's way too skinny there, but actually, Hold on a second. His... Oh no, his angle's all wrong. You can see the many different versions I was doing and temples. Let's see. Oop. Where's your face? Something got erased. If this version actually looks a bit simpler, I'm wondering compared to, I might make the wings a bit smaller, like this side, so then that way it gives enough room for his silhouette. We shall see. I'm gonna move this up. Come on. Okay. Then let's start with the temple. Figure out this background before we commit to anything. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to adjust the perspective here with this really quick edit drawing guide. Okay, I don't like this. Okay. So, where are we? Let's figure out these pillars. Nope. That is not working like I thought it would. Okay. So, oops, come on. Watch, folks, as Andrew struggles to draw. Okay, so we're gonna have this. Why is the drawing assist back on? I'm gonna have this big stone ring. Oh, there we go. Then we'll have pillars. Pillar here. There. Then we'll say it's like a. How would you describe this? It's like a step down into the circle. That's where they're at. I'm wondering if I made the illustration the wrong size. There we go. Hopefully that makes a bit more sense. I'm going to experiment with resizing this a little bit. Let's see. Trying to see where everything is with the grid. Whoops. Center grid. She should not be on the center grid. So I move this a little bit. Like a 70s house with a conversation pit. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Okay, so we got a bit more space. Something like that. We could even enlarge it if we wanted to. Let's say, oops. Again, this is, oops, let's bring that down below the perspective line. There we go. This is all the sketching process. So we're still figuring stuff out as we go. Another pillar here. And then go, oops. How do you feel about this warp hammer? Realizing maybe the composition's not great on this. Mountains. Yeah. Rows of wheat. Mountains in the background. Trees, all that. You can have like a, well, maybe like a small waterfall coming down to irrigate the fields. What can you have in the center? Just some stones, or like a grid stone pattern work. Or do you want like, it could be dirt, like bare earth. Some blades of grass here. We have, yeah. So pillar should be in the center. There should be a bit more room between. Okay. There we go. Warp hammer. I do like the idea. It's going to be critical to get the upper position right. Of course, wings will hide a lot. If the top is open, then dirt or grass makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, this upper position's gonna need a lot of attention. Is there like any details or motifs that you would like? Like, say you want the pillars Greek style. Do you want them squared? Yeah, at this point, right now, we're just kind of figuring things out as we sketch. So there's a lot where you're like, hey, I'd like this detail or something like that. Okay, what if... Oops. If we bring this down below the perspective line. Okay, let's lower that down. I'm gonna... Oops. Yep. Let's see. See, the top detail like that is good. They'd likely be feathers as her symbol. Okay. On the pillar, that is. Okay, so... something like that. Make them carved. And then you can have maybe some like vines growing up or something like that. Okay. Now this is where we try to get the angle right. Top or circling the top, whichever works well. Okay. Trying to see what else I can do. You can do that, and then so like markings of her feathers. Maybe? I don't know. We'll figure it out in a second. Right now I need to figure out the curvature of the pillars, or of the top. Let's duplicate that. Flip around. Let's see. Nope. How do we fix this? Lower that opacity so the sketch is a little bit clearer. And gonna hide the. Where's this? Hide that. There we go. Nope. What am I doing here? Oh man, I made a lot of sense a little bit ago. What am I doing here? Okay. With that. Say, fix this. Where is that? This might be better. Okay. So then you'll have a pillar here. So that's gotta be the center. And then let's here and here. adjust this. There we go. A bit better. Then I'll have a pillar up here. And then if you want something in the foreground, you can always do like the beginnings of a pillar that maybe got broken off or smashed or something like that. Have that darkened in. Oh, I wonder if you had like a fountain at the center. Of course, that would be covered up by her, I think. So let's keep fixing. Ah, yes, to preserve the view. That works. Indeed. Okay, let's see. How does this work with the characters in it? Okay, so I'm gonna hide my drawing guide so this makes sense. This might not work. If I were to shrink them down a bit though, put them, can't have her in the center exactly. Okay, let's see. What can I do to make this work a bit better? Oops. Angle this up a little bit more, maybe. Let's see, canvas proper resize. Something that way. Okay. Still have the pillar coming out. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I've lost the original. Whoops, where'd we go? I like the original layout. Yeah, this is the tricky bit, the proportions. Oh, 100%. And I should have figured this out before when I was doing the initial thumbnailing and sketching. Unfortunately, I kind of waited to do that, which is not good. Let's see. Proportions and perspective. Yes, things that I struggle with quite a bit. Let's see. So, if we were to take our characters, let's get rid of all these sketches. Let's, oops, wrong view. Shrink them down a little bit. Match just a little bit. How do you feel about that size, Warhammer? Or do you prefer, like, like the size that she is originally in this image? Because we can do something else. Oops, say that's the ground. Let's see. Bear with me, I'm just kind of trying to figure something out here. Let's see. Yeah, it means extra work later. 100%. Okay, let's see. Actually, I think the problem is I'm so used to a lot of the artwork I do here on the iPad. I use a specific size, which works fine for me for sketching and all that. And now I'm realizing, like, oh, you know what? I don't think this size works very well for an illustration. So I need to reconfigure some stuff. I'm gonna try some dimension stuff here. Well, that would explain something. If we fix the canvas. Oh, here we go. All right, now we have proper dimensions for an illustration. Well, let's change the background, or resize, I should say. Oops. Merge down. We'll include the sketch too. Let's say that were the case. Yeah, they are the wrong perspective for this sort of angle, I think. Okay, so let's take this. Then you have your fields of wheat. No, I don't like that. What if we flip that? Something like that. Just shrink them a tiny bit. She needs to be farther over here. Then again, oops, not that. Where was I? Flip back. There we go. Where's she? They are somewhere over here. I don't want them at the center because that's, I know that much about composition is you don't want your character in the center. So here. he would be in the center, but he's not the main focus. I think she is. Okay. Let's figure out this background a bit more. It should be farther back. Give them some more room. So then. Another pillar here. Okay. Or we don't need the, pardon me, the upper ring. And you just have essentially a bunch of standing pillars by themselves. This one could have water shooting out. Nah. An opening here. Got the waterfall. Nope. What if? Okay, you got pillars. Talking square, Greek, or Stonehenge type stones. Yeah. Yeah, this is my sketching process. Chaotically just erasing, resketching until eventually it all works out. Let's see. Sorry, I see I'm missing some comments here. Warhammer. That position keeps from hiding the pillars too much too. That would work too. Less chance of making the proportions look odd that way. What I have right now. Fourth back. For the background, did I send you the painting of her cabin? I don't think I did. No, actually, no, you didn't. Yeah, if you want to send that, that would be great. Then I can do that. Let's see. Can we... Okay, so that's the original sketch. Let's say... Let's figure out the grid system here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think... Okay. If that was my grid system, I had my characters here, how would I redo this temple? Let's see. Not that it needs to be exactly like it, but for ideas. Yes, without the ring might work best. Okay, I note you in a moment. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, without the ring, we can try that. Keep the grid. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, we got mountains, background, wheat fields. Warpaint re-ring, whichever I thought you were leaning towards without. I get it, and I get it, could help with framing. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, right now I am just sketching. That's funny. I don't really have anything set in stone yet. Noted. Awesome. Okay, let me pull that up. Oh, this is really cute. Okay. That is really cute. Okay, so I'm trying to think. So she lives in this cabin, which is separate from the temple. Is that correct then? Because what we can do, say, so here's the mountains. So maybe what we could have is, okay, the door would be there. Let's hide the layer. Oops. So what we could do is maybe he's come to her door. And they're standing outside. Have the door open. Fire pit deal. Mountains. Got the river. Yeah, not sure about this. Let's see. Okay. Bear with me a moment as I try to figure out what I'm doing here. Warhammer. Oh, that's much more personal, and that would work for them. Okay. So, okay. Let me look through the. Let's go through the sketches again just to make sure. So you could have the house here, which honestly needs to be. So it's like. Let's see. Where's the original? So you could have them at her cabin, or go with the temple idea. Oops. Would you like me to sketch that out first before we commit to that? Well, actually, hold on a second. Let's see. So here's like one of the original sketches. If we turn that around. Say we're using the original sketches like as that angle. Easily do the door. No, because the river needs to be on the other side. Okay. That might be good, yeah. Okay, so stick with the cabin then. Okay. Okay, so let's refigure out what we're doing here. I'm gonna pull up the cabin again. I can actually pull it up on my phone here so then I can still see your comments. Let's see. So, just have to worry. Here we go. Perspective. That's the only problem is. Let's see. Where are we? 1, 2, 3-ish. It's fine. And if I have to re-sketch them, I might have to do that. We'll see. Okay, cabin. It's a really cute cabin too. That would be the door frame, the door, steps. Both work fine, but the more I think about it, the cabin would be appropriate. Okay. Yeah, that works totally fine for me. So I have an A-frame cabin. Got that thatched roof. We got the wood pile. Grass there. Okay, so barrel. Got the river. Got the trees on the other side. Got the mountains. Let's say. Okay, 1 second. I'm trying to think. How can I incorporate wheat field? So maybe. I know it's not in the reference image, but maybe there's a wheat field right in front of the house. So say these this is like the wheat, kind of like framing in the image. How do they fit in this background? Oh, actually, they fit kind of nicely. I think I can tweak them just a tiny bit. Ooh, hey, yeah, I'm liking this. Come on, let's slide that back a little bit faster, a little bit. How's that looking, Warhammer? Does that do you like this or not quite, or want to change some things, see more of the house? Because essentially what you're just seeing right now would be the front door, this part of the roof with the thatched roof, that little thing holding up the roof and the wood pile. Yeah, here's the doorpost, the door will be open. Trying to think, what can I do to make them more focused? Okay, you got a little path there. Sure. It's a stone house. So lots of stones. That should essentially be silhouetted by the darkness into the home of the home. That looks way too chaotic. Now, can we fix this? Oops. Just change the angle a little. Let's see. Warhammer, I think it's pretty good, yes. Awesome. Okay, let's stick with that then. Then Lothren's interesting cabin made with wood and grass at the lakeside. Actually, I think it's made of stone. So in the reference image, it's like a made of like cobbled stone. And yes, I had them base it off similar buildings I've seen in Norway, etc. Oh, okay, yeah, that's really cute. Yeah, reminds me of like a Viking-ish home. Okay. Right, I think we're at a better a better place now with the background then. Wheat. What is? I have to remember what wheat looks like. So the shape would be grass. Got a little lantern here. Right now I'm just kind of blocking stuff in. Okay, lots of stonework. Then be the step. She should be on the step a little bit. He'll be on the ground. Just trying to see what else. Oh, you got like a little fire pit here. I might move that over by the lakeside if that's alright, with some little stumps here for sitting on when she has company. What else is there? Yeah, stone walls and grass roof. Some buildings out that way are wood, but there's plenty of stone. Oh yeah, makes sense. Okay, I personally I'm very pleased with this direction. I think it works a bit better than the temple, mainly because I'm able to start from scratch with this background. Okay. Is there any other details we can do to make this a bit more personal? Also, I need to figure out his armor. When you say armor for the squirrel, for I want to say Eowyn, but that's the Lord of the Rings character. Let's see, where is the comment? How do you pronounce his name again? Eowyn. Yeah, Eowyn. Um, for Eowyn's armor, is it like medieval body armor, or are we talking like what kind of armor are we talking about? Let's lower. Oops. Hey, where's this other layer? Okay, that's fine. Hmm, I'm missing a layer. Where's those? Where's that? Oh, that's weird. There we go. Oops. Let's see. Sorry, losing my spot. Let's see. Warhammer. It works nicely for them too because the temple was built for her and she's not 100% comfortable with it. Oh, that's true. So he starts. With a bunch of hockey pads he cobbled together for his live-action D&D game. She would likely be giving him something more appropriate after this. Okay. Okay, that explains the reference with the hockey pads. I was kind of like, if this is a fantasy world, how does this work? Okay. Okay, let's go back to the references then. Gotcha, okay. I can just picture Batman saying, or him in Awen in Batman's voice, "I'm not wearing hockey pads." Something like that. Let's see, references. Go. Okay. Alright, so that would be him afterwards. Okay. He's got like a... Okay. He's got like a sweater. Pocket pad deal. So that would go around his... There's a sweater. There's his trousers. And then do you want him to wear boots or just his paws? Okay, sorry. Cons. Why both things can exist at once is a lot of lore about the setting. Gotcha. Makes sense. He first talked to her when he was trying to figure out what a paladin dedicated to her would have. Okay, sorry, I gotta reread. He first talked to her when he was trying to figure out what a paladin dedicated to her would have for stats. Oh, okay, cute. Ooh. Cute. It's got a big baggy sweater. There's his tail. Boots would be fine. Alrighty. Boots. Bootstraps. Man, not too long ago, I rewatched the original Pirates of the Caribbean. If any of you guys have seen that, I would assume so. It's a really good movie. It's a solid movie. It's very fun. I can't say the same for the other ones. I need to see them again. I know it got a little ridiculous, but that original movie is a solid movie. Okay, hockey. Your sword. Actually, I might move his tail backwards a little bit, so then it doesn't connect with the silhouette of the blade. Okay. It is, yeah, for sure. It's a really good movie. Let's see, what else can I do for him? Color in those hockey pants. I picture his shoes a little untied or something. Since he's pretty young. Let's see. What were some other? Let's see if there's other details about the house. Check notes. Okay. Yes. So you got a little window up top here. Might be out of view, but okay. So you can see a little bit of the interior. Do you know, like, what would be immediately if you were to walk in, what you would see in her house? Or would it just be like, you see some walls, maybe a shelf? And honestly, this might not even be visible once I do the actual drawing. Okay, she's on the step, so that would be there. There's the other step. Get some grass there. So the door would be about there. Little doorknob. Kitchen closet to the door, so pantry shelves and the like. Okay. Pantry shelves. Gotcha. Of course, most of that is blocked off by her anyways. That'd be her. Okay. Let's see, trying to see. On the door, do you want anything carved? Like, whoops, wrong deal. You could have just a welcome home, or do you want like I picture wheat sheets, wheat stalks, full moon, crescent moons, or just let's keep it simple. Does she have any enemies? Strikewing? Is that correct? Like, what I guess what I'm wondering is like, what's her story? Has she always been a deity? Became a deity? What's the story with the baby? Let's see. What? Talent, yeah. Moon motif is perfect. Talon? Not really. She more has brothers. Ah, yes, brothers. I can't speak. What did I call her? Wing strike or something? Talon strike. Good gracious, I am all over the place with names. Don't take it personally. I'm really bad with like real people's names. So a fictional character, I'm like really struggling to remember. What's their name? Trying to think of other things to add. I think I mentioned like you could do the fire pit here, stumps, so people can hang out, sit. Some more grass. Stone. Warhammer became as she grew up. Okay, deity. Slowly gained her powers, became more and more mom as time went on. Had some issues with followers misrepresenting her, part of why she's so mad on formal worship. Gotcha. And was she like a normal being in this world? And then just as she grew up, oh, I have powers. Oh, people are worshiping me, or is it like no, she's from a deity race, but as you grow up is when you gain your deity powers. Yeah, I like to understand the story of the characters I'm drawing. That's all. Stone, and that's gonna be covered by. Okay, let's. Oops, wrong layer. Okay. Could be looking like this. Very nice. Now let's see. It was discovered over time. Things grew better around her, and she could sense people's health, things like that. Oh, okay. Very nice. Okay, yeah, so that's a more clear image of what it's going to look like now that we have a more detailed sketch. And I'm going to leave those lines there so then that way I know the back drawings, or under drawing, I should say. Okay, so we have a detailed drawing, figured out what we're doing, so awesome. I'm going to get rid of all these other, oops, no, actually let's keep that perspective grid, so it was good. Actually, you know what, let's, before I get rid of all these extra layers, I'm going to actually duplicate this layer. And duplicate, so then we keep all the original sketches. Alright. Now we can combine. A bunch of layers. What's this one? And yeah, and it all started with this sketch right here. Crazy. Where was I guess. Delete these extra layers. As you can tell, I spent forever just sketching and more sketching. Okay. Remove the background for now. Get the characters. Okay, let's see. I can tell. Yeah, That's most of my process is legitimately just sketching over and over and over again. Okay, where is my liner brush? I have to figure out. I'm experimenting with different brushes lately, but my go-to is, let's see what size I'm at 3. I need to be at 5. My go-to is the liner brush. Then I've got these other brushes, and oops, let's bring that down to 5. It's the Disney butter brush. Oops. I'm gonna go with the liner, I think. I'm just more comfortable with that one to know how to use it. Oops. Back here, you. Let's see. Gotta figure out how to draw this mane. References. So I save it onto here. Okay, gotta find those references again. One second. Oh. I don't know what I'm trying to do. Hey phone, how about you let me open this link, shall we? There we go. Okay. Okay. Let's work on her hands. Oops, that doesn't work. Oops, nope. Let's go around our nostril. Okay. Let's remember, detail will be with a smaller brush. Let's do the chin. There we go. Let's see, is that visible from far away, or do we need a larger brush? Let's see, if I raise the size to, let's say, a 7. Yeah, maybe do that. Do the silhouette large. Keep doing that. You can't zoom in and out because then it changes the size of the brush. I wish there was a way to disable that. Let's... Trying to move it without zooming out. Let's see. He says as he keeps moving out. Yeah, this is a bit of a slower process, the inking. Right now, just getting the basic shape. Oops. Whoa, what's going on there? Deal with that later. Nope. Remember, I need your detail later. Yep. Yeah. It's always slow. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the right brush size for this. Oops. Zoom a little bit more. I think if I was working in Clip Studio, there's a way I can disable the brush changing sizes as I'm far away. You know what? Let me quickly look that up. See if there's a way I can do that here in Procreate. How to keep Okay, enable dynamic brush scaling in actions preferences. Okay, 1 second. Let's see. Okay, to keep a brush from changing sizes, enable dynamic brush scaling in action to maintain consistent size while zooming, or set the Apple Pencil slider to 0% in the Brush Studio pressure-based sizing. I already had that selected. Let's see if I... Oops. Okay, so it looks like I had dynamic brush scaling already on. So why is that? Then... Pencil tab and set size. Where is that going to be? Go to the brush. Come on. Studio and change brush. Go to the Apple Pencil tab. Set size under the pressure section. Pressure. Where is that? Oh, I don't want to mess with that because this is already all set. So, see, yeah, it's already. Let's fix this, shall we? No. I think the problem is I have the pressure different. Okay, so lower to pressure. I'll take a screenshot of this so that I know what it is. Actually, you know what? I can cancel this and duplicate that brush. Then 0. There we go. Oh, that's still. Oh, I know why. Go to 5. It's still much bigger. Is that about the same or is it bigger? I can't tell. I think that's good. So I'm gonna erase this so it's all matching. Okay. Sorry, you're part of an experiment with this image. Then I can bring back pressure sensitivity later for other things. Hard to tell. Yeah. Her jaw has a steep drop off. That's good. Yeah, and if you see anything where you're like, oh, I don't like the way that looks, by all means, this is your commission, so you can say, hey, please redo that line. That looks terrible. Because I want you to be happy with this. I wonder if I need to lower that a bit. Good. Yeah. Oops. No. It's gonna be here. Because. Oops. Little button. Come on. I'll erase that. And let's. I need a brush. Down. Like it. So that should be. means I need to fix that. Huh. What am I doing here? I think this needs to be a bit farther out, maybe there. Looks a bit better. Take a look at her costume again. Okay, let's. More. Right. I see why. I see the problem. I forget that it's kind of like a tank top opening almost there. So that wouldn't be visible. Okay. Where was I? Fix that line. Okay. Remember, I'm not doing detail entry, just the silhouette. Just a silhouette. Okay. Let's redo that. I might need to do that later. Okay. Where was I? Where was I? Do that later. The membrane. Huh. Let's see. I think we're doing all right. Maybe, let's see. I think we're all right. Okay. Let's get. That does not work. Never fear. I should figure it out. Yeah, sorry, I'm so quiet. Okay. Okay, I think we got the silhouette. Let's fix that. The problem is with this one, her sleeve is such a unique type. Starts off as like a very tight sleeve, and then becomes a like really loose sleeve. There you go. Okay, I don't need to do that detail yet though. Let's see. I need to do her tail. Oh, perfect. Her tail. And then she's got that like spade shaped deal. Do you know what this part of the tail would be called? 'Cause I don't actually. I know there's probably an actual term for it. Okay, so I'm just gonna go all the way. Probably have some. Well, detail later. Okay. Let's other detail later. This is a new thing I'm trying, doing the detail later. So it's okay. Taking quite a bit of practice. Not practice, some patience. Oops. Okay, and then for let's see, how are we gonna do this? I think now I can switch to the regular brush. Oops. Oops. Nope, go back. There we go. I like that. The spade, usually that's what it's called. If you mean the tip flare thing. Yeah, this thing. Okay, so it is called the flare. Or the spade. Good gracious, Andrew. Okay, good to know. Where's my... There we go. Oops. That is not right. Oh, I see what that is. That's supposed to be the... Okay, one second. I'm dealing with the top of the slate. Should go down to here. Might be a bit much though. Oh, okay, what was I thinking when I drew that? Okay, so... Okay, I'll deal with his hand later. make sure I got everything else. BRB, coffee arrived. Ooh, awesome. That reminds me, I should take a sip of coffee. Those eyelashes. Nope, I don't like that. She looks evil there. I think the eyelashes are too thick. Okay, so she has a little button deal. This might need to go higher up. Oops, that's what I didn't like that. Sip, sip. Okay. What am I doing? Oh yes, I'll switch to the other brush. So I need to fix this real quick. Oh. Let's move that. What's going on with my pencil? I need to fix this too. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's a much bigger brush stroke than this. What's going on there? All right, how do you feel about this so far? Do you like the brush size, or do you feel like, it's too small, too large? I think it's fine the way it is. Say how would you do it? How reference do it? Okay, so is that like a seam right here in the hip area, based on the reference that you gave me? Because or is that just like the shadow from that illustration? Because it almost looks like it's a totally different seam. Let's try to include. Perfect, perfect. Let's try to figure out how do I draw that. Yeah, it almost looks like there's a seam stitched into the hip area in the reference image. Let's see. See, I think it's just a fold or something. Okay, gotcha. We'll see how that kind of using that later. Or a belt, actually. Oh, maybe there's a belt there or something. Okay. Well. Let's see, how can we snap this one? Oops. I think I got an idea. Follow the contour. Get that to connect up the hip. You know what? Let's try this again, shall we? Let's get that to. This is a detail. Oh no, I went too far. Shoot. Maybe the edge of the spade, but exaggerated. Edge of the spade, exaggerated. Oops. I'm not sure I'm following that comment, Lotharens. Not quite sure. I guess I'm not sure I understand what you're saying there. Oh no, I lost that. Okay, so let me see. Alright, see what I'm doing now, I think. So think into that, and that will make a bit more sense maybe later on. Hopefully. Oops. Ah, gotcha. Actually, I don't. I think I'm still confused. Oh well. I think that's fair. Oh, the tail tip. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. My apologies. Yeah, no, I'm talking about just trying to figure out this thing. That makes sense, though, what you're saying. Okay, let's figure out the sleeve. Okay. Oops. What's going on there, Andrew? Okay, so it's all. There we go. Okay. Oh, yes, then we gotta add in the. Okay, and it's almost. She's got a fairly thick clavicle, actually, in the reference image. And I think this thing needs to be moved down a bit. Because she should have a bit more. There we go. That's a bit better. Okay, let's fix this too. Oops. That's weird. Okay. How are we doing? Okay, let's figure out this face. Oops. Trying to figure out how we're going to do this. Island. Oops. Oh, I don't want the smudge tool. Let's see. Nope. Problem with this is that right now it looks like an evil eyebrow, which is it's most certainly not. It's not an evil character. Let's see. Try to figure out where the osteoderms would be. It's almost like. Hmm. Trying to figure this out. Should probably start working on her mane too. Yeah, we'll see how the brows go. Always a funny thing to get right on anyone. Indeed, indeed. Especially with a character that like doesn't have the type of brows that we have. They have more like eye ridges. Let's see. Oops. What's that? Nope. Okay. Let's start again, shall we? There we go. Almost start here. There we go. But her horn needs to be visible, so we'll move it up here. That's gonna look weird until we start adding the scales and the detail. Something like that. Okay. Okay, and she's got plenty of scales. Okay. Let's see. All right, it is 2:07. We still have quite a ways to go, but we're at least started. I think I'm gonna call it quits for the day. Um, yeah, I still need to eat lunch and all that, but yeah, thank you guys so much for hopping on and watching as I work. Warphammer, glad you were able to join so that we could get on the right track with this commission. All right, well, thank you guys so much. Be sure to like this video and stay in touch. Tomorrow we will be doing more art streams, but that'll just be our regular doodle session. So stay tuned for that. And all right, thank you guys. And as I get set up, 1 second. Warphammer, this is nice so far. Thank you. See you soon. Go eat lunch, silly. Yes, I know. I get a little carried away when I'm doing art. I kind of forget about things like that. Thank you. All right, take care, folks, and God bless, and cheers.